Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope today is treating you as well as it can be. You're probably wondering why I am 2 hours late to stream. Well, for those of you who were here yesterday, you may or may not remember that I was pretty tired and having issues functioning because of the fact that I decided to go ahead and start stream rather than sleep. So today we flipped that. I went ahead and just said, no, I'm going to sleep until I'm good. Yeah, here we are. So you like ice physics, right? You like ice physics over pits, right? For real, we'll see how this does, because so far every dungeon has been really good. So what's Unsung War, Loner? And good morning, a noble name, Jesse's Mask, Zaktaft, Loner. Oh, Ace Combat. Got wronged on every single VOD. You're a Mike Romano, who does not understand Twitch. Not that I do either. Simple Gamer. Heart, and Mr. Red. You can do it, Mr. Red. I believe in you. I do love that background effect thing. It's straight out of LTTP, but it's still good. Okay. So I've played Pokemon before. So this should be easy. 5 minutes later. Ah! Yeah, so what actually happened is I woke up at 5. Which, for record, I did not go to bed early. So I woke up at 5, completely exhausted. I'm like, okay, I can't. I can't. So it took me a bit, like a good hour and a half to get back to sleep. And then I woke up about 30 minutes ago. Give or take. Oh my god. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door! I wonder what item we're gonna get here. Good morning, Spartan. I mean, actually, it's probably going to be fire. Right? I mean, that just makes sense. I mean, no offense to this to anybody, but God, I'm so glad I don't have ADHD or any neuroatypical issues, because holy crap, I could not deal. Okay, so down. That sounds like a good thing, though, Makamano. You know, that's fair. If YouTube suddenly started getting better tomorrow, I'd be confused as hell. It won't, which is why it'd be confusing. Oh, there's the boss key. A little early? So, one of the YouTubers I follow, Jaden Animations, actually did a video today about ADHD, and I was just like, yeah, that wasn't news to me, but I've seen a lot of people who are looking at it like, oh my god, yeah. The thing is, my sister has ADHD. I forget which exact type, and it doesn't matter, because she's described to me in detail how it is to be her. And I do not envy my sister. She was talking about the feedback loop just last night. You know, neurotypical people, it's a weird word, are like, hey, I need to get something done. And then you get something done, and it's like, okay, cool. And that, like, reinforces your ability to get other things done. You have accomplished something. Cool. Now I can accomplish something else. She doesn't have that. Hey, procrastination does not count. Hey, well done. This looks like to be the element, all right. But what do? We can't even touch it while it's in the ice. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's the end of the dungeon. And probably the boss. Can we just shatter it now? Yeah, no, exactly. Like, in a neurotypical person, getting something done is kind of like part of the encouragement and reward to get more done. You know, you've probably never seen this happen, but many of my friends will know that when I'm asked, how was my day, one of the ways in which I will say I had a good day is, I got a lot done. God, this controls so well. I didn't actually say this on camera, because I didn't want to come across as a pansy old man, but my thumb has been a little bit sore ever since we played the Oracle games. Specifically the Oracle games. Can you guess why without me telling you? Yeah, no, if you remember, in the Oracle's games, the way you moved in the water was tap, 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 tap. And yeah, there was the time when you had to move against the current, and then there was just navigating the massive overworld, and there was an entire section of the second game which was just an underwater section. So my thumb is still a little bit sore and recovering from that stupid control mechanism. So when I say this is so much better, I am not being facetious. Come on. Come here, mushroom. Come to me. Embiggen my prosperity. Ah, I'm dead! And let's open up the shortcut, just in case. Well, thank God I don't actually have carpal tunnel. I don't think I can handle that either. Like, again, it's one of those no offense things, but God, I couldn't deal with having carpal tunnel. I never checked over there. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Let's backtrack a little bit. I mean, if you told me to my face one day, hey, Laura, you can't play Mega Man anymore, I'd be like, okay. I'm gonna go buy a gun and shoot myself. Like, no thank you. I got stuff to do. Oh, I know, Crazy Norse, and I do stretches very regularly. An average of 4 times a day, actually. Because, yeah. Couldn't deal with that. Like, again, no offense, but goddamn, I got enough troubles without being able to actually enjoy my life, you know what I mean? Oh, it reset. Okay, whatever. To the depths. That's okay. You know what I am actually at highest risk of? Dementia. It's entirely on my father's side of the family, but it's there. It is worse than anything else I just said, in my opinion. Oh god, yeah, losing sight. Thankfully, the last time I got this exact prescription, I had a nice long discussion with the optometrist. And she was actually someone who was was really good at what she did. I'm just going to put it that way. So she and I had a nice long talk about things you could do to mitigate damage to the eyes. And I've been doing that, and ever since my eyes have stopped getting worse. So that's nice. Yeah, no, that's what I just... Okay, whatever. Then again, dementia is one of those things that, yeah, that's my first pick for getting rid of, you know. There it is. Don't mistake me, there's a lot of horrible things in the world, but you put a gun to my head, which you do a lot for some reason, I would get rid of dementia. That's the thing I'd Thanos out of existence. It's horrible on pretty much every level, but if I can get philosophical for just a second, what makes us people is our brains, right? This right here, this is who we really are. And being deprived of the thing that makes us what we are is unacceptable. No, I agree with you, Crazy Nurse, legitimately. Just nuke that. It's okay, I'm gonna get this new virus. I call it the T virus. It's gonna cure all of it. Oh, that's the horrible part, J. Palmer. Like, when you're having dementia, you don't really have it that bad. Because you're not aware of the problem. But that's horrifying in its own right, isn't it? But yeah, for everybody who knew, past tense, the you that doesn't exist anymore. I think I mentioned before, my dad's dad had dementia. Pretty bad, actually. And I've also known other people who have had other family members who have also had it. It's unacceptable, is the word I would use there. Now, the good news is I don't think I have early onset dementia, which was a very real risk for a bit there, but I have been tested in multiple ways for that. And no signs whatsoever, thank God. But that doesn't mean in like 40 years I couldn't still develop it. You know, that's a good point, Crazy Norse. Not every family has a history of any of the death diseases and viruses and illnesses out there, but pretty much every family has at least some exposure to dementia. And I should probably mention, for those of you wondering, yes, I am using dementia as an umbrella term because we're still studying it. We're still not 100% sure which is what in what direction. So that's cool. Never mind actually curing any of that. Anyways, that's your bit of joy for the day. Thank you very, very much, Shadow Machine. Always appreciate you. Thank you. I'll put that towards Shooter's Blood and Teeth, Mario and Luigi block, and the Awful block. I will admit, some of you have probably heard me talk about how good of a memory I am and how proud I am of that fact. I should admit that I tend to do memory exercises specifically to try and maintain that particular skill. And a lot of what scared me down that road is watching some other people lose their memory bit by bit. Pretty sure you're right, Shadow Machine. It was at 99% when I was doing the update last night. Let's see. My name is... What is my name? Someone tell me my name, please! Sorry, I shouldn't make fun. I don't even remember which anime that's from. I just remember that being a scene. Spartacus! My name is Spartacus. Alright, so, another ice puzzle. This is our third one now. The first one was really, really easy. The second one was definitely a step up. Let's see how this one works, because we already had introduction, we already had escalation theme. We've also already had introduction and escalation of that theme right there. Ooh, whoa, whoa. So, needs to land there. And there's all the blocks we have to work. So we can see all the blocks on one screen. Good move, by the way. Good puzzle design. Making sure the player can see all the pieces on the board at a single moment is helpful for puzzle design. You know, one of the biggest sins and mistakes that puzzle designers make is this. They flip it. So it's like, okay, there's this stuff over here, but hang on. And then you have to scroll over here. Okay, then there's this over here, and then you have to go up here. Okay, then there's this up here. Okay. And then you go further down. It's like, okay, then there's this thing over here. And sometimes, and this is actually even worse, they'll put pieces of the puzzle in another room. And if you don't understand how that's worse, we have a bit of a psychological thing in human existence, which is very, very normal, where you tend to mentally, whether you mean to or not, lock pieces in their individual rooms, right? Have you ever walked into the kitchen and be like, oh God, what was I doing? Gone back to the room you're in and be like, oh yeah, that's why. It's because we have that threshold thing. So if you do this in a game design, especially with a large-scale puzzle, especially with a difficult puzzle, that's even more frustrating because you're trying to keep all of these pieces together in your head while also keeping the other pieces in the other room in your head. Not great. But here, all the puzzle pieces visible on one spot. And that's on a GBA screen, so props there. If someone could clip that, that would be awesome. Please and thank you. Okay, so I want... How do I do this? So I can move that there. What's that there? No. Okay, I can move that there. And I can move... Hang on, so... There. There. So... The only ones I can move into each other are the top and the middle ones. No, Jay Palmer. I have never played Tears of the Kingdom. Which has been out for a year now, can you believe it? Okay. Well, it's just funny because I'm still playing catch-up with the list. And y'all are still funding games. Did you quit it for 5 seconds? Damn it, Shadow Machine. I'm still playing catch-up with the list. However, I only really have 3 things left to finish playing catch-up. Well, 4 now. All the stuff that just got funded. The Zelda block. The Streaminations and the WoW block. And once all that's done, I will actually finally be caught up. So I might actually be caught up sometime this year. Yep, I still don't have much spoiled for Tears. I do have a couple things spoiled from Tears, I'm not gonna lie to you. But very minor stuff so far. Yeah, no, Shoot His Blood and Teeth is gonna be a super simple one. And I'm looking forward to it. I will admit, I've already played it, because we already did a co-op run of it. That was cool. WoW won't take as long as I think some people think it will. Okay. Let's solve that puzzle again. Although... No, I'm right. Yep, okay. That's what I get for exploring. In fact, what is the queue right now? Could someone actually pull up the upcoming page and tell me what games are funded that are not Zelda and WoW? Because I forget the list right now. No, the actual upcoming page. Okay, so we've got the Modern Warfare 2 remake. Okay, that'll be short. The Doom block probably won't be super short, because that's a bunch of games. Paper Mario 1 and 2, yep, because Paper Mario 2 finally came out. Star Trek Resurgence, I have no idea how long that is. Yeah, I don't think we actually can play the Dune games. Whoever asked that. That's Crazy Horse. Okay. Oh, whatever. Let's do this then. There is no such thing, Jay Palmer. In order to do a review of a game like that, it's not like FF14 at all. I won't be on one character the whole time. In fact, I think there'll be a grand total of about 13 characters for that run. That's what I'm thinking, Craziness. We already have a puzzle out in the overworld which requires fire to solve, so I'm guessing it's going to be fire here. Also true, Jesse's Mask. Jesse's Mask is quite correct. If the Nintendo Direct, which is either this week or next week, based on all accounts, is about Prime 2 and Prime 3, yeah, that's getting added to the bundle. Oh, where did I put that? Technically, yes, Trihexia, but in every way that matters, no. Here we go. So, I will be playing a Draenei female warrior, a Blood Elf male priest, a Gnome female warlock, an Orc male shaman, a Worgen male rogue, a human female paladin, a Draenei female mage, a Troll male druid, a Forsaken male hunter, a Dwarf male death knight, a human male monk, a Night Elf, probably female demon hunter, and a Drakthir evoker. Those are the classes and characters that we'll be using for the WoW review. Yes, I have a spreadsheet. It's a very organized spreadsheet. Because it has to cover everything. It has to cover a lot. It has to cover so much. The good news is, once we get past Cataclysm, it suddenly becomes so much easier. Well, because everything I just said is BC, Wrath, and Kata. Everything I just covered is just those 3 expansions. The moment we hit Pandaria, it becomes much smoother. And from that point onwards, we'll primarily be doing just one Alliance character, and just one Horde character, and in some cases, not even that. Kata was the really difficult one, because there's so much content in Kata. And in all directions, and it's best done in a specific order, too. The very, 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 very first character I ever played in WoW was a human warrior. Because back then, there were only 2 classes and only 2 races. Human and Orc. Priest and warrior. That was it. Oh, we'll blaze through it. Like, you gotta understand, I'll be doing, like, at least a zone per shift. Possibly faster than that. I'm not super concerned about it. I know WoW inside and out, and I know exactly what order to do things in, and I've got notes. But I did have to plan out a lot of that. See, the other important thing is we need to review each class 1 to 60. Once you hit 60, you well have a good idea of what your class is like, how they operate, etc. So we also needed to cover every class in the game. And if you know anything about WoW, you know that they actually have 3, 2, or 4 specs each. So all that has to be covered too. That was the biggest source of organization necessary for the WoW review room, is making sure that every class gets an entire chunk of content to itself to be able to gauge and review as we go. Pretty much the same thing I did in FF14, but much more organized because there's just so much more. Heirlooms? Plus to gameplay. Moving on. Okay. Hi, Dakota. Classes I wish I could skip? No. This is WoW. Name me a bad class in WoW and I'll call you a liar. Enchanter. Doesn't exist. Warrior. That's one of my mains. Zebrahoves. That's not a class. Is Lore Runner a class? God, I hope not. Death Knight. Oh, God, I love Death Knights right now. Of course, again, I love everything right now. Especially Unholy. And Frost. And Blood. Actually, it's funny you say that because there is a Lore Master title in WoW, which, yes, of course I have it. There is a Lore Keeper over in Lotro. It's based on Gandalf. It kind of sucked as a class back when I played, but as you know, I haven't played Lotro in years, and never will again. So who knows nowadays. No, doing green fire on camera is kind of unfeasible. Or, more accurately, it's unreasonable. Well, that is a valid and worthwhile cause, Vigilant. Lotro is still active, and to my knowledge is still getting updates. I have never played any Armored Core game before, no. Hell, I barely heard of the franchise until 6 came out. But yes, Jay Palmer. Anytime you have one of those, like, limited event, limited time kind of quests, there's a pretty good chance we're not doing that. Either because of having to go farm a specific drop, or having to go farm rep, or whatever. It's the same thing we did in FF14. And Tor, actually. And STO. What if it's on the auction house? I admittedly have no knowledge of that particular item being tradable. Boss time. Or not. Okay. Boss time. You again? Either way, I would lean towards no. Number one, I've actually already done that quest on camera. The time I did that quest for my Warlock, I did that on camera. Number two, that is a very lengthy and involved side quest. That means time. The enemy of all things. I'm pretty sure that video is still in the VOD somewhere. I'm also particularly proud of that, because I actually did that final boss of that encounter while undergeared, because I'm very good at WoW. actually a chew, aka a slime. Really? Okay. How do I feel about the Beetle Leaps this time around, by the way? No reason I'm asking right now. It's a lantern! What do you know? Yeah, that's one hell of a lantern. God, we're almost rupee capped again. The game really expects me to go hog wild and buying kinstones. Too long to charge. I think charging is actually objectively worse in this particular one. It's better in several of them, but it just takes too long to charge here. Like here, look at this. 1, 2... That's about 2.5 seconds. The first Nintendo game I ever played was Super Mario Bros. 1 on the NES, with my dad in his apartment in Carlsbad. Didn't get past the first pipe. Couldn't figure out how to move and jump at the same time, was actually the issue. I've actually told that story before, several times. What it boils down to is me freaking out more and more and more and more as, you know, the music speeds up when the time starts to run out. And, of course, you know that when you're freaking out, you're not quite as competent as you normally are. I wasn't competent to begin with, so... And, of course, I couldn't go left. So that's not the answer. Yeah, I was just thinking that on Nobly. Nothing is dropping hearts. Nothing. Like, I could really use a heart right about now. Or, like, 5. But these little ladybugs on crack are like, no. You have a kinstone and some rupees. And I'm like, okay, how about a heart? No. No, I'm good. But... Did you go all Ansem here? Is that what this is? Oh, hearts. And now I'm on fire. Cool. Okay, that's a thing. I'm just gonna leave the room. There we go. Oh, come on! 4 pots, 1 heart. Sounds like a challenge run. No, there isn't. I actually mentioned that earlier. Instead of... Right, you can drag. I was about to be stuck for another few minutes, Crazy Norse. Do you know you can drag in this game? Because you can't in, like, any other Zelda! Instead of having dynamic drops, they just have... Everything has a really high drop rate. What? Yeah, Kata was actually a pretty buggy expansion. For all the quality content it had. I mean, Vashir's the obvious example there, but there's several examples of cutscenes just not firing right. Being wonky. There's also a couple of smaller bugs that tend to show up. What do you mean, Jay Palmer? Oh, I don't like this room. And I don't like doing this room with no health. Game? Hearts? Game's like, you don't need hearts. Why would you need hearts? Okay, you know what? Just to get rid of the noise. Just to get rid of the noise. Okay, that's easy. That's not. I just got that question, Celtic Bat. Wow. Other than Tears of the Kingdom, no. I've played every Zelda game prior to this. So it can only be vertical, which means we can only move horizontally. So if I could shove that there, and then that there, but I still only have 2 to work with, so unless I can actually sit on the 3rd one that sticks, which it won't. So how do I get the 3rd one? Well, whatever. Let's play with it, see what happens. Oh, that's wild. Okay. Apparently I can't move those. Good. And I can't grab here either. Okay. We're trying really hard, Bragwin. We're trying really hard. Okay. That's confusing. So the two things I thought this... So the two rules of this room that I thought existed don't. So I'm not sure what to do now. I can't actually lift the thing. I might look this one up. Because this is one of those situations where I'm just missing something. And because I don't have all the rules in front of me, I can't solve the puzzle. Oh, God damn it. I let it go like 1 second too early. Nope, that kills him instantly. Yep, alright, to Google. Don't feel like wasting any more time here. Let's see, where are we? We're getting a donation from Nightwing. How dare you, sir? Thoughts on the Elden Ring being in the more gross tonal direction. Okay, there we go. Wait. Okay, more vomit. More vomit. No, Melkor Blade, and I kind of hope nobody ever does. To be quite honest with you. Thank you, Nightwing, very, very much. Always appreciate it. I will put that down for the BRPG block, Outer Worlds 2, and Stellaris. I have played, as of this moment, I've played every FromSoft game except for King's Quest, or excuse me, King's Field 1 through 3, and Demon's Souls. So in other words, all the ones that count. Oh, I also haven't played Armored Core. I've played all the Soulsborns except for Demon's Souls. That's a better way to put that. So, right, I should actually look at the walkthrough I just pulled up. Did I say what I'm putting this toward? BRPG block, Outer Worlds 2, and Stellaris. Thank you, again. Anyway. Hang on a sec. Let me come back to you in a second, Dark Tape. Yeah, that sounds about right, Melkor Blade. I've said it before and I'll say it again. FromSoft has absolutely doubled down on the gross factor. They did that back in Bloodborne, and they've never stopped doing it. I have to assume it's part of the appeal. But if anything is going to make me want to play those games even less, that's it. Like, I don't have a high tolerance for gross. No, you stupid... God damn it. Oh my god, that is... Ice. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So, this goes on the bottom. I already figured this part out. Elden Ring bugged me a lot. And yes, Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a current record holder for negatives given to gross. Something that chat contested fiercely, but unfortunately was not able to give what I consider to be an acceptable argument to not give that negative. Because holy crap, that game is so gross. I just realized we're on a timer. Oh my god, we're on a timer for that. I sincerely doubt that, Spartan. As much as I love desperately wanting to kill myself, I can get enough of that by just watching the news. Okay, so it sticks. That was the thing I was missing right there. The fact that we don't have to hold the buttons down. I assumed we were having to get something on the buttons to hold them down, but we just have to flip all the buttons at the same time. I told you there was something I was missing. I was right. All that and he still hit me. I don't think that's the president's job to decide such a thing, Yura. Public intoxication is a problem for several reasons, though. There are legitimate health and safety considerations for that. That's one of the reasons why safe spaces should exist to allow someone to go and drink. Obviously, there's your own home, but that's also why taverns and the like should exist, is so that you can go someplace where people can be there and present and watch you. And, you know, if need be, take care of you and or restrain you. Yeah, that's why a pub exists. Nowadays, obviously that's not why pubs used to exist. Okay, we're just gonna light all of these, I guess. Yeah, that's what I thought. We're on a timer. Oh, okay. Game, you're cute. Oh, yeah. This is great. Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. Yeah, I feel like I just said that, Yura. There are legitimate public safety concerns, in addition to health concerns. Like, you want to drink? Sure. Do it someplace safe. I think I already screwed up. Yep. I almost had that. I almost had that twice. There. there's our second shortcut, too. So I just had a random thought. I was going to ask, you know, the chat, how many of you are looking forward to Phantom Hourglass? And I realized that nobody in the history of the Ever is actually looking forward to Phantom Hourglass. I'm not sure it's physically possible to look forward to Phantom Hourglass. For what it's worth, I am actually looking forward to Phantom Hourglass, but it's more from the reviewer perspective than replaying the game perspective. I am quite curious how it's going to line up. It'll be interesting playing Phantom Hourglass before Wind Waker, but trust me, the two games ne'er can coincide. Although we will have to finally start considering external continuity into the equation. For the first time, basically. Could you get out of the way, please? Thanks. Now, I don't in any way mean this as an unkindness, Yura. But do you like Wind Waker for any reason other than its visual aesthetics? And audio. It's aesthetics. I don't know why I said visual. It's general aesthetics. I didn't actually own Phantom Hourglass for a very long time. I borrowed a friend's copy that he never got around to playing. And then he ended up just giving to me, because he had no interest in ever playing it after hearing me talk about it. Whoops. Did not intend that, for the record. Probably not, Trihexia. I'm not a very good liar to begin with. Especially not to someone who I've known for over 20 years at that point. This is Gary, by the way. I do find that interesting you say the story is kind of interesting, Yura, since if any game is going to crush it on the story axis, it's Wind Waker. It might actually have the highest story score of all the Zeldas. I think the only real competition there is going to be Twilight. No. No. Bad. Oh my god. Okay. That stupid Octorok Stellar Element. Don't just stand there, we gotta go get it. Yeah, or I could grow to big size, kill it in like one hit of my sword, and then... No? No? Okay. We have to fight the Octorok while tiny for some reason. You know, that's a good question, Backseat Gaming. I've said this a few times, but I don't have good memories of Skyward Sword entirely because of how much the controls caused me physical pain to use. So, that's kind of a hard one to gauge, because all my memories are how much that game pissed me off, and not of the quality of the game itself. Okay. Sure, let's try a bomb. Why not? Will admit, would not have occurred to me. Like, the boss battles get made such a big deal about his freaking rear end. But I'm like, okay, I just gotta get back there. And he's like, no. Now he's refusing to inhale. What in the world is he doing? Okay, I'm just gonna look this up. I don't feel like dying here. Yeah, use the flame lantern on the flower on its back. That's the correct choice. I just apparently can't physically do that. Okay, cool. Let's go. We did just set an Octorok on fire, but in our defense, he kind of deserved that, you know. You had it coming, buddy. Yeah, that's actually a really valid point, Blue Fusion. Although, I shouldn't do that right now. Listen, Backseat Gaming, I suck at everything, okay? We all know this. I am the liquid snake of video games. Now, that's a deep cut reference right there. No one's gonna get that. He spins fast, too. Look at that. He does not want me to get behind him. Look at this. I'll just give it away. It's a reference to the last days of Foxhound. Which you've never heard of, don't lie to me. In that webcomic, Liquid Snake is actually, his superpower is whenever he loses confidence, he becomes extremely good at something. So, everyone who was manipulating him all his life belittles him in order to make him a super badass. Could you not do what you're doing? You asshole. Oh, right, because I don't have it equipped. Yeah, I didn't find it particularly funny, but I did enjoy the story. It was also written before Metal Gear Solid 4, and it shows. Probably a little bit more interesting than Metal Gear Solid 4's answers to a lot of those questions, if I'm being blunt. Four now. 5. Ah! So anyways. Thank you, as always, Cashel. Now that I have the power of water. And the power of dawn. All of a sudden, everything makes way too much sense. Damn you, Dawn. You have cursed me. So that's Deathloop for Dawn, and then AC Valhalla, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, and Strangers of Paradise. And thank you, Dawn, as always. Oof. We have gained the power of wet. Almost froze my beak off in there. What? O young one, child who seeks to aid the Princess of Hyrule, my name is Gustav. I was king of Hyrule countless ages ago. Stand before me, only then will the path open to you. Huh, was that just a dream? I said he was king of Hyrule. Look at your map, there's a mark on it. Yeah, there's 2 zones we haven't been to. And 3 dungeons total. That's counting everything. Whee! Well, we have the ability to burn. Yes, we gained the power of water. Thank you, Dark Day, as always. Give me one moment here. Write that down. Resident Evil block. Yeah, I can spell. That's 11. I do like looting schools. And now I'm on a list. Hello, Law. We haven't seen you in school in quite a while. I'm so glad you came. You'll give me all your attention. All your essays. They will be mine. Actually, no, hang on. Before we do that. Yeah, so tying into what someone just said. I missed it. Who was it? Baxi Gaming. There it is. That fairy did not give us a lot of hearts. I might not actually bother getting 2 more fairies. I might leave the other bottle for something else. Like a red potion. Whoops, wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. What? I'm apparently forgetful today. I knew this would happen. I was just talking about how I have a good memory, and now I've forgotten where I am. I swear it was this cave. But no, I guess it wouldn't be, because it's a cave by a bridge, and this isn't by a bridge. Where the hell's the bridge? What? I can't swim under the bridge. I mean, honestly, most people snowball when it comes to confidence. That's normal. Right? Like, you're like, oh, I'm doing badly, and then immediately your confidence goes away, and then you do worse. And you should feel embarrassed. Yeah, it's really bad when you're doing speedrun attempts and you're doing really, really well. And you're like, oh god, what happens if I screw up? And then you screw up and then the entire run is forfeit. If not immediately, then shortly thereafter. Yes, absolutely, Backseat Gaming. Sorry, I probably should write... I was going to write down some positives, and then I got stuck on this here. Yes, please. Full heal. And yeah, we haven't even given any positives for that dungeon. That was a pretty solid dungeon. I only got stuck once, and it was because of a red herring thing. That's not too shabby for a Zelda dungeon. Hold on, what? Yeah, it's almost like it's a good game in Arkham Axis. It's nice. So we're going to just triple that negative over here. That's true. We need more risky Zelda games, like Breath of the Wild. That way we'll have 80 hours of padded garbage. Wait. Sorry, Federation Builder. I understand your perspective, really. I've just never agreed with it. And I find myself pushing back against that constantly because, in my experience, most people prefer innovative design over iterative design. And I legitimately think that's one of the problems with the gaming industry in general, is constantly throwing out ideas and trying to come up with something new rather than trying to polish existing concepts. I am also one of those people who tends to value it when a game has actually really polished a formula to a shine to make it really, really pop. My favorite Zelda is Twilight Princess, which is Ocarina, which is LTTP. But that's because Twilight really, really worked to polish that formula to a shine. What's my favorite Mega Man game? 11. What's my second favorite Mega Man game? X1. What's my third favorite Mega Man game? 5. And everyone bashes 5 for just being another Mega Man game. But it's the best of the classic Mega Mans, because they really sat down and polished that game and did some really, really great stuff with it. What was the name of the dungeon I just did? Hang on. Temple of Droplets. Actually, yeah, Ori 2 is a perfect example. Ori 2 is just an iteration on Ori 1, and it's awesome. But, again, I'm not trying to say that I am dismissing your opinion, just that I don't agree with it. I have heard a lot of people give a lot of well-reasoned reasons over the years as to why they prefer innovative design over iterative. Hell, I was talking about that in one of my post-game rooms just a few months ago, and I got a lot of people giving some well-reasoned responses to that. Possibly Backseat Gaming, although I'd probably do less of the side stuff in a replay. See, the funny thing is, Melkorblade, they used to do that, if you were paying attention. Like, let's look at the Zelda timeline for just a second. Check this out, check this out. So we have, hang on, where we got? Where's the Zelda timeline? There it is. Okay, so, Zelda 1, okay, inventing a new genre. Zelda 2, trying something completely different. LTTP, iterating on Zelda 1. Link's Awakening, trying something new. Ocarina, iterating on LTTP. And then Majora's Mask, trying something new. I'm not going to keep going, but you get the idea, right? This used to be how the Zeldas operated. They would have one iterator and one innovator, and they would just kind of bounce back and forth between each other, for good and for bad. I don't know if that will hold at this point, because we haven't had a lot of games in the last 10 years. In fact, as I pointed out, Link Between Worlds came out in 2013. Link Between Worlds was 2013, Breath of the Wild was 2017, and Tears of the Kingdom was 2023. 3 games in 10 years. That's not great. Link Between Worlds was definitely an iterative. Breath of the Wild was an innovative. Tears is an iterative again. But who knows, right? And yeah, like, for example, Phantom Hourglass was innovative, and then Spirit Tracks was iterative. But I don't know how well those will line up once we get there. Skyward Sword was another innovative, and then Link Between Worlds is another iterative. In fact, I'm pretty sure the pattern is perfect. Hang on, because then we had the Oracles, which are iterative, Four Swords, which was innovative, Wind Waker, which was iterative, and then Minish Cap, which was iterative. So there we go. There's the break. Wind Waker to Minish Cap, they're both iterative games. And then Twilight Princess. So that's 3 iterators in a row. Then we move on to Phantom Hourglass, and then the pattern continues from then on. So there's this little gap from 2002 to 2006 when they weren't innovating. And appropriately, that is the gap of the game we're playing right now. So... well, I felt like I already did my due diligence on that Blade Develop, but in simplicity, Link's Awakening was a very different style approach structure of a game. The way that they did overworld design, the way that they did puzzle design, the way that they did how you had progression, the introductions and escalations of concepts, including more side quests, more NPCs, more of a story focus, actual honest-to-God quest cutscenes, an actual trading game, which was supposed to give you extra things to do, more mini-games and side games to interact with. You could argue that, but I would argue very strongly that that was definitely a innovative. That was them trying to push the limits of what they could do. What is the name of the bot that's supposed to say something in Discord? I can't remember the name of it all of a sudden. I suppose I could just check my permissions here. Sorry, give me a second. Give me a second. There's a bot not working. Stream Cord, is it? Well, if you say so, Blade Taval. Alright. It's time to kill Blade Taval. If the bot's on, the bot's running. I don't know. Probably a fluke. We'll see if it has any issues later. Pluses. So, dungeon design. Great loops. Great loops in that. I appreciate good loops in dungeon design, especially in a Zelda game. I've talked about that before. In fact, we talked about that most when it came to Super Metroid, if you remember. Most of Super Metroid's level design was designed in, like, you loop through an area, and then you leave an area and move on to the next area, right? So, yeah, there's Norfair, but actually, in Reality Land, it's more like there's Norfair 1, and then there's Norfair 2, and then there's Norfair 3, and then there's Norfair 4. And I'm not actually making up any of these paths because I know that game entirely too well. So those are the 4 paths through the game, and each one of those is designed extremely well because it's Super Metroid. But that's what I mean by I say loops. I love loop design when it comes to dungeons, when it comes to level design. So really great Zelda games will have a thing where it's like you loop in here, and then you loop in here, and then you loop like here, and then you're done. Boom, boom, boom. 3 loops. And yes, that's Dodongo's Cavern I just described. So in this dungeon, it was like, all right, loop down and around the right side, open up part of the thing. That leads naturally into the next section, which then loops over here. You can open up the other half, and there's your boss. So, awesome. Wand of what? I'm sorry, I've never heard of that, Anarchomaxist. Alright, kill Anarchomaxist immediately. What was the boss of level 3? That's right, it was the Andros dude. Listen, Mike Kamano, you can't kill. You can't kill me. I was going to make a joke, but I realized out of context it sounds horrible. I'll go ahead and do the joke anyways. You can't kill the Messiah. There we go. All right. It's a reference. I don't have a god complex. You kidding, Ect? There is a non-zero chance that people born in my lifetime will no longer age or die of old age. That's a real thing. That's an actual possibility. Lunar bases? Still, that would be cool. I mean, it's either that or we're all going to die inside of my lifetime. So one way or the other, we're making history. Good, bad, or in between. I like whole grain pasta. Only if it's thin noodles. That's the only type of pasta I like. Like those little tiny spiral things, or like the macaroni shells. Nah. Noodles. Thank you, Easel Games. Always appreciate. Yeah. What's that old curse? May you live in interesting times. Or I guess the old blessing, may you live in uninteresting times. Yeah, we live in interesting times. I've got that down for Trails of Berseria and Systeria, Trails in the Skyblock, and then Trails of Crossbell Duology. Thank you, Easel, as always. I prefer angel hair over spaghetti, but I'll take both, Crazy Norse. I was just looking it up. Temple of Droplets. Hi, Ross. Cave of Flames. I can live with the flat noodles. I'll never pick them. I can tolerate them. I can endure them. Yeah, the Napoleonic Wars were definitely an interesting time. That's a word to describe that. There is one other type of pasta I actually really enjoy. Stuffed. Nice, big shells stuffed with meat and with cheese. I don't know the proper terminology. I am, after all, not Italian. I think that was it. Anyways, I'm sorry, Federation Builder. I didn't mean to sound like I was coming down on you for your opinion. I apologize. I think the point I was trying to make was, A, most people I encounter think more like you than like me. And B, stuff like this is part of why I tend to really enjoy games like this, because this is a very iterative game. They have taken... I mean, honestly, this is literally iterative. This game is the Oracle's games, but better. presence of Grimly. Yes. Reign with me, that I might kill you horribly. Your hearts are full, swing your sword. That's it! Yes, I will now possess your body, blah, 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 blah. Look, both Oracle's games were net positive. But imagine if the Oracle's games were great. And now you have Minish Cap. That is actually useful feedback. Thank you, Easel. So far, for the most part, the shorts experiment has been working out extremely well. Except in one critical element, which is new viewers. So, we'll see if that actually ends up going anywhere. It may not. You never know. I can make that happen. But I'd love to see Capcom collaborate with Zelda in the future. Yeah, I'd go with yes. First and foremost, Capcom does still put out some good games, even though they like to absolutely ignore every single one of their IPs that does not have a resident or a monster in the title. And yes, I am bitter about that. Capcom has been very much trying to build tall lately, and I am really frustrated by it. However, it is worthy of note that they are doing some good stuff with the franchises they are pushing. And I mean, the last Mega Man game they made is probably the best game they've ever made, so... The best Mega Man game, excuse me. I'm sorry, Mega Man 11 was legit. But yeah, Breath of Fire is dead, Mega Man is dead. No, exactly, Rex. That is entirely correct. Oh, right, you're not an enemy. Oh, this is a stealth section. Okay, cool. I can do that. Mega Man Legends 3 will never happen at this point. I'll just need to accept that. Yeah, I'm not actually a big Resident Evil fan. I liked Resident Evil 2R, and I liked Resident Evil 4, and that's kind of the list for me. Oh. Oh, that would be awesome, Melkor Blade. Five was... I had a bit of an experience with 5, but, you know, I didn't play it with a friend, so I had to deal with the AI. And the AI in 5 was not great. I never played 6. These guys' visibility is weird. Like, what? How did that catch me? I'm actually confused by this. That would be nice, Crazy Norse, but like I said, they're building tall. And I don't want to dismiss that because there's a validity to building tall. Put all your time and effort into just a few titles and really make those titles pop. And by all accounts, that has been working for them. I'm just salty because, you know, I'm not into any of the titles they're pushing. Yeah, Square is trying to do the exact same thing right now, and probably because, at least in part of Capcom's recent success. Like, you can't tell me they didn't notice that. No, exactly. That's why I have to point out that I am obviously very biased here. Having said that, even if they were pushing Mega Man and putting out really high-quality Mega Man stuff, I would still probably be at least a little bit upset. Because, well, there's other options other than letting your IPs dangle on the vine. Right? I mean, God's sakes, farm that crap out. If you're not going to make a such-and-such game, let someone else do it. If we're not going to get a new Dino Crisis, then let someone else do it. You know? Hi, Star Wars. Oh god, that's a good question, Backseat. I mean, the obvious pick is Yacht Club Games because Shovel Knight. I mean, obviously it's a little bit of a dice roll because we've had plenty of awful second-party and third-party developed games, but then again, we've also had Minish Cap, the game I'm playing right now, which is a result of exactly that type of collaboration. Hey, you know, Flagship, do you want to make a Zelda game? Here you go. Very true. Taquata, very true. So, the only reason I bring that up is because it is possible to get good quality out of that, historically speaking. Now, nowadays, what you would have to do is you'd probably have to farm it out to an indie team. Because, I mean, do I need to finish that sentence? I mean, Yacht Club has the same general problem that the Hollow Knight people have, whose names I can't remember. I mean, do you remember how long it took them to get all of the Shovel Knight games out? I'll give you a hint. It was in the years and years range. Oh man, Monolith Soft. Monolith Soft doing a new Mega Man Legends. I could see that. Although they're probably too busy doing background code work for Nintendo. I mean, that's not a hypothesis, Yura. We know with 100% certainty that Yura leaving Capcom, that Inafune leaving Capcom led to less Mega Man games. That's the nature of the beast. Inafune was the executive. He was the guy in the office, and as we've talked about before, one of the roles of a producer is to be in the office arguing that your particular project should get resources, time, material, and green lights. He was the guy arguing for Mega Man. Once he left, I can't remember his name, but the guy who actually worked on this very game right here took over for Mega Man, pushed out 4 games, excuse me, and then abandoned Mega Man entirely for like a decade. Yeah, Mega Man needs a Rick Berman. That is a horrible, unfortunate truth, but it is the truth. I guarantee you the reason that the big ones are Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, and I guess Street Fighter as well, is because those are the executives that have been winning that battle in the office. Yes, please sell me some of your milk. I wonder what it does. Like how many... Oh, it doesn't say how many it heals for. Ah, whatever. Yeah, that's true. The early handheld era, which was like DS and GBA and PSP, saw a whole bunch of experimental games, which unfortunately most of which have died. I hate to bring up Mega Man again, but Mega Man Powered Up was legit. Despite its visual style, which I kind of hated, that was a really, really good remake. That was a proper remake of Mega Man 1, and I loved it to death. I was really hopeful for that series to continue. And yeah, Ghost Trick. DS. Great game, by the way. Arguably, Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright. GBA. I did Backseat Gaming. Although, I think that's part of just because all of the additional fun stuff that they did in Mega Man Powered Up. Like being able to literally play as Cutman or Electman. This is going to get a little geeky, but Mega Man has always, all the way back to the Mega Man 1, been about defeat boss, get power up, right? Being able to beat the boss in a hard way, to then play as the boss with a completely new kit and set and moveset and everything, was just such a wonderful, logical progression of that idea. And I cannot believe it took until the PSP remake of Mega Man 1 for them to dip into that. But then again, it's one of those obvious in hindsight things, right? I love that mechanic, and I wish they would bring that mechanic back. I am going the wrong way. I mean, it probably helps that the Resident Evil engine, whatever it's called, I think it's just the Resident Evil engine, is a really, really good engine. Capcom kind of, you know, laid the golden goose or whatever with that engine, and they've done some great stuff with it. Welcome back, Laura. You need to find one more element. Say, have you been to Royal Valley? You used to be able to live from Chilby. Nowadays, you have to take a secret path west of the northern part of Hyrule Field. Thank you. I know you're... So, most of you are probably aware, most of you who care about Mega Man are probably aware that there's a Mega Man X7 fan patch that came out semi-recently to try and polish that up a little bit. And one of the things I found funniest about all the patch notes is there's a specific patch note for allowing you to play as X earlier, but not at the beginning of the game. You still have to go grinding, saving hostages in order to play as X. It's just not as bad. I found something about that funny. But, you know, I think you're absolutely right, Crazy Norse. I think that the early portables just had less oversight and, as a direct consequence, could get away with more. I mean, we're going to talk about the very next game we're playing, Phantom Hourglass, which is a highly experimental game, for good and for ill. Oh dear, you found me out. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret to everyone. Okay, got it. I've seen the demake, last I checked, which was about 4 days ago now. Look, I'm a Mega Man fan. What do you want from me? It isn't done yet, but what's there is really good. If you have any interest in Mega Man at all, I highly recommend you look into the Mega Man X8 demake. I couldn't tell you what it's called off the top of my head, because I have no brain for names. There's four major things I remember disliking about Phantom Hourglass. Fourth is the grind. Third is the padding of traversal time. But second is, of course, the Ocean Temple. I mean, you knew that one was coming. And first, and most importantly of all, is the control scheme. Let me try to explain this. We won't have this issue. We're going to be playing emulated. But let's say I got my DS right here. Where's my frickin'... It's not a stupid thing. There it is. Here's my control. Here, hang on. Let me really make this clear for a second. That's the wrong screen. No, that's the right screen. Oh, right. I have it set up for that right now. So I just need to do this. There we go. First of all, just get a feel for the size of this thing. This is not a big screen to work with, okay? That's important because the way you control it is by this. The thing is, this is also where you're seeing a lot of what you're doing down here. So, essentially, no matter... I know this isn't really getting across to you, so I'm going to try really hard to get across this. But imagine you're sitting here playing, and you're doing this. How much of this screen can you see while you're doing it? It's just not intuitive. It's not fluid or natural like this, where you can see the screen perfectly well, and you have instant feedback. So it's imprecise, and it's literally getting in the way of what you're seeing. You get into the habit, at least I got in the habit, of playing kind of like this, with my hand way off at this weird angle, to be able to actually do this kind of a thing while controlling. And everything is controlled by the same thing, including attacks. And of course, attacks are even worse, because this is... Here, watch carefully. This is me moving, and this is me attacking. Now, do you already see the problem? Let's say I'm moving over here, and I move just a little bit too fast. All of a sudden, I'm just going to attack the air. Or worse, if I'm attacking but not as properly as well as I should be, then, you know, I'm just going to move there instead of attack. The distinction between attacking and moving is not great. Having said that, I liked making notes on map. That was cool. And I used the hell out of that. I also liked being able to chart a course on the overworld map and just be like, boop, and then go there. That was cool, too. But yeah, was not a big fan of the control scheme for essentially the exact same reason I'm not a big fan of this. Oh, jump. Okay, never mind. I forgot to talk to that guy, didn't I? Whoops. Let's go talk to that guy. Oh, crap. He's gone now. Thanks to you, I can finally go back to my house. It's been totally rearranged, and I think it's a good look. I've been putting my feelings of gratitude to verse. The way it was made... The way made safe, I came back home to find inside, all alone. In my chest, my poor heart aches, but for you I feel the deepest thanks. Oh, just a moment. My dresser's entirely stuffed with these icky blue seashells. Could you clean them out for me? Sure. Are we capped on seashells yet, by the way? Not yet. We're getting there. Also, feel free to clip that diatribe about Phantom Hourglass if you feel the desire to. I don't know if I got that under 60 seconds. So now let's get the quiver upgrade. I mean, I could try to get it under 60 seconds and polish that a little bit next time. It's probably not obvious. Sorry, wrong way to phrase it. It's probably extremely obvious. But I've been trying to get those little brief design discussion things under 60 seconds for the purposes of making them clippable and then shortable. Okay, did that. We didn't finish looting the school, did we? Yes, I want to do the other thing first, which we have now done. Chomp, chomp. We have to eat fast so we can have a longer recess. Oh, relatable and unhealthy. Children on their lunch recess. Playing is as important as studying. I agree with that. A healthy body leads to a healthy mind. Oh, I hate shorts, but I'm honestly kind of up on a wall on that one. Like, there's only so much I could do at this point to continue to try and have new viewership. And, yeah. Like I said, it's doing well in terms of just raw metrics. We'll see if it actually leads to any new viewers or not. This is not Pokemon, Monobret. Gotta water these every day. What? We have to give water to plants every day? Ugh. Plants. What do they do for us? When I run, the things I'm eating always fall into my mouth. Ew! I mean, cool. Oh, I know. A noble name. It's ridiculous. There is one other type of thing that YouTube is... Well, I don't want to say pushing, but allowing to be pushed might be a better way to phrase that. And that's the really long-form videos. Thing is, well, YouTube loves those because they can put tons and tons of ads up on them. The real benefit for those is if you have a really good sponsor. Because sponsors pay out based on certain metrics, which tend to go up if you have one of those super long 12-hour, 5-hour, etc. videos. Entirely possible, Ross. And no, I don't have any Pokemon Ranger games. Hang on, so Zactap said some names, but I missed them. In fact, I don't see anything from you, Zactap, other than you asking about it. Oh, there they are. General Stockade and Major Mayhem. Listen, if we know one thing about the Decepticons, is that they don't have a single creative bone in their body. Which is probably because they have no bones at all. But in addition to that... So, no, that just sounds normal to me. That's a quad. We don't have quad yet. I've also been trying not to actually flood with shorts. Just to put out about one short per VOD. Usually I get at least one clippable moment per VOD, and if I don't, well, I've got some backups I can lean back on. Like the STO one that went live recently. Can we kill the teachers? Well, probably not. Cooking shorts. I mean, it's not like I don't know how to do that. Exactly, Zactuft. So in addition to swimming, the new thing we have is fire. So somehow, somewhere, fire has to get us up there. I don't think it's up here, but I'm going to check anyways, just to be sure. Yeah, okay. Pretty sure we already went in here, but just to check. Who knows? Game Freak might actually get their act together someday. Stranger things have happened. I mean, I say that considering that Pokemon Arceus is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. And by all accounts, I'm probably going to like Violet quite a bit. Speaking of iterative versus innovative. Yeah, it clearly wants me to go up there. Right now, there's 3 Pokemon games that I've reviewed, even, so I can firmly say that's my opinion on it, that sit towards the top of that list. That is Black and White 1, Sword and Shield, and Arceus. All 3 of them have their flaws, but all 3 of them also have really, really, really high-quality stuff that push them above the rest of the pack. Okay, so it really wants me to come up here. Well, is this a 3 or a 4? This is a 3. Okay. I don't know. Mentally, I was thinking of this as a 4 for some reason. So, that's our answer. But yes, I do agree, Easel. They really need to stop just shoving stuff out the door to meet their merchandising sales. I get that's where they make most of their money. I just don't care. So, what do you think, Laura? Pretty dark and spooky, huh? Makes you want to cry, doesn't it? What? You're not scared? Well, good. Neither am I. So, let's go. Yeah, welcome to Royal Valley. Jesus. Look at this place. I do, in fact, have a favorite Pokemon. Crobat. He's probably not super obvious. But this guy right here. Here, hang on. One sec. Let me just show him off very quickly. There he is. See my Crobat up here? I actually have quite a few Pokemon plushies, admittedly, as you can see. To my right here. But Crobat's the big one. And Crobat's my favorite. It just suits me, too. It's a seemingly worthless, pathetic Pokemon that becomes awesome if you take care of them. And they become better when they're happier. And Crobat's also legit, too. Like, Crobat's one of the sweeper Pokemon. Yeah, who knows, Bragman. Right now, we're kind of looking into the possibility of an Airbnb as a temporary thing. And yes, I'm not a big fan of that either. Stop licking me, please. Thank you. Let's see, coolest looking Pokemon? God, I don't know. Other than Crobat, obviously. Guess I was left again. Same as the beginning, which was up. So up, left, left, up. Right. Could someone write this down, by the way, please? Up, left, left, up, right. Same as 2 before. Is that up or right? That would be up. Because 1 before was right, so 2 before was up. Hey, okay, cool. We're good, we're good. Thank you. God, coolest looking. I mean, honestly, I'm leaning towards melodic on that one. Another one of my favorites, consequently. Hello, Dampé. I'm the Gravedigger here. What's this? You're called here by the ghost of a king. That'd be the ancient king of Hyrule who rests here. I've seen him myself. Well, if the king has called you, I can't see any reason not to let you in. Here, take the graveyard key. Thanks, Dampé. Really, game? What, a crow took the key and flew off into a tree? Well, just stand around. The crow will get away. Charge at him and give that Kreasin a rattle. Yeah, hang on. Having not even played Pokemon Violet, I can't comment. Easel, obviously. I didn't even see which direction he flew off into. Good afternoon, Ground Spectre. Hope you're doing well today. Get off of me. Okay. Damn it. Okay. So, you managed to get the key back? Keep a tighter grip on it. At least now you can get to the graveyard. Thanks. Thanks, Eslo. Well, that's a very easy answer. I was playing this for rumination. Thanks, Tempe. What are you doing here? This is a graveyard. There are ghosts here. Oh yeah, speaking of which, my brother lives in Hyrule Town. He's a troublesome prankster, but I wonder what he's doing. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Easel. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't retain the games I played for rooms. It was just pure cram, 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 and then once everything was crammed, immediately forget and move on to the next game. There's actually several games like that, like entire Phoenix Wright trilogy. Or maybe it was just Phoenix Wright 2, I don't know. I don't remember which one I played for rooms. And that's a quad. Agreed, Rex. I mean, yeah, I could comment on, you know, things like personal preference and financial feasibility. But, yeah, the fact that I can actually enjoy the games I'm playing is admittedly a very selfish reason why I prefer streaming over ruminations. So far, extremely little of the Kinstone Fusion has been required in Nobleheim, only in the swamp. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Rex. In other words, the Kinstone stuff is pretty much all optional. Oh god, CRT shading on Wind Waker. Why, Yura? Why would you do this? I can now safely say Yura is literally Hitler. I am curious how it looks. Yep, Hitler was a fascist who managed to commit suicide. Good on him, really. You know, that takes effort. That wasn't it. Thank you, Blue Dragon. Always appreciate it. Yeah, Hitler, I guess he just... What was that? I can't remember if it was a game or an anime, where, like, the main plot is that the main villain was like, I will disperse my DNA across the world, and everyone will be me. Anyways, there you go. There's Hitler's plan right there. Mega Man Battle Network. Sonic Block. And hang on 1 second. That's true, the Master did do that. That's not the one I was thinking of. Because he kind of did like a temporary thing. I'm talking someone who was like spreading his genes, specifically. And the Awful Block. You got it, Blue Dragon EXE. Thank you very, very much. Especially as I'm kind of hoarding money right now in preparation for the aforementioned move. I definitely appreciate it. Last move was kind of expensive, too. Okay. Do I have a shovel? I do not have a shovel. But I do have a digger, which does not let me dig down, because of course it doesn't. Why would it? Alright. By myself, Crazy Norse? No. I am powerless and helpless to actually be able to live on my own at the moment. That's not a joke or a hyperbole. I have no ability to live on my own right now. Yeah, housing prices are actually terrible. As I mentioned yesterday, I hope the FTC and the recent legal issues actually move forward, don't become politicized, and don't become part of the election year. Because that's the last thing we need, is for some big, large-scale crisis to the country to become a political issue. Thankfully, that's never happened. Okay, what extremely obvious thing am I missing here? Like, this was clearly a thing. I can't do anything with it. It's like, okay, and... Yeah, I can pick up the stones. Yeah, let's pick up the rest of the stones. Oh my god. So I specifically left those 3 stones because I thought that was the pattern up there. I thought, hey, that's the trick, right? Jesus Christ. It's always something obvious every time. See, now I have to figure out how to get up there with that. So I think we'll do it this way. Yeah, me too, Bragwin. I don't want to get into hopium, but honestly. There we go. Nope. Okay, can't do it that way. Can I make it this way? Looks like I can make it that way, but only if I go all the way around. So this is a timer thing. Okay. Things. Remember, you cannot roll while doing timer things, because the roll button actually cancels them, so you can only walk. So we are in a hurry. I just went down the wrong path. Very important when you're in a hurry, is to go the wrong way. Maybe the royal graves are creepy no matter whose they are. Where are we supposed to go to meet the King Gustav, anyways? I'm not sure I even want to anymore. Can we just go somewhere less creepy? Gift us being jackasses as usual. Also, I could be mistaken, but... Yeah, this is our micro dungeon. Okay, that's what I thought. Recognize the music? And yeah, that's a mix of Zelda 1's dungeon song. A little bit less unpleasant. Okay. Left, middle, or right? Got some Fire Temple vibes going on here. Jeez. Okay, looks like I want to be on the left. You know, I think you're right, Rex. Full of snakes. Why not? Yeah, it's just not worth that charge time. God dang. I hope so too, Easel. I especially hope that they figure out that the thing that made the Paper Mario series popular wasn't the paper. Nintendo, you morons! Okay, sorry. Oh, young one, child who seeks to rescue my descendant, Zelda. Welcome, my name is Gustav. I was king of Hyrule countless ages ago. I grant you this kinstone. Seek the source of the flow in Hyrule. Only then will your path open. Save Zelda, and all of Hyrule is counting on you. You got a kinstone piece. You got a kinstone piece? Fascinating. Ancient king of Hyrule. How strange. And the source of the flow. What do you suppose that means? Interesting. I believe we're done here. Means it's time to go up there. You know, it's funny you say that, Inosians. Paper Mario 1, as most of you are probably aware, was not called Paper Mario 1 originally. It was called Super Mario RPG 2. The paper aesthetic was done as a bit of a compromise to try and get what they wanted on camera. Because they were a little bit ambitious for what could be done at the time. And, you know, the N64 wasn't exactly a hardware powerhouse. Then, of course, they made Paper Mario 2, which had, you know, the paper aesthetic because it was now Paper Mario 2. And then they learned the wrong lessons. And instead of focusing on the incredible gameplay and story and characters and everything, they're like, oh, you know what? Let's double down on the paper. I actually talked about that the last time we streamed Super Paper Mario. They infamously had a survey which they sent out, and they're like, what did you like most about Paper Mario 2? And the answer was pretty much universally, the paper! And it's like, oh, okay, well then we'll double down on that. Super Paper Mario didn't sell that well for some strange reason. Then they doubled down on that again, the Sticker Star. I don't remember X. It was like, do you like the characters? Do you like the gameplay? Do you like the puzzles? No, it was like bosses, puzzles, story elements or characters, something like that, and then paper. You know, that is possible. I should shut up about this. We'll talk about this more after I've had a chance to double up on my research on the matter, because I haven't actually researched the Paper Mario series in a few years now. Either way, Super Paper Mario sucked! That's okay. Because then Paper Mario Sticker Star is one of the worst games I've ever played. That's not hyperbole, by the way. Then Color Splash was better, is how I'm going to phrase that. It was an improvement. Probably not Backseat Gaming. Now a short. Well, that might be doable. By a short, I mean like 15 shorts. As we go across every single individual terrible thing in that game. You know what I find funny? For years and years and years and years, about 10 years now, people have been yelling at me in YouTube comments for not putting more gameplay in the videos. So I finally have walked away from Ruminations, never going back. And, you know, we've got these shorts, which show gameplay, and we've got the streams, which are all gameplay. And now everybody wants Ruminations. But yeah, Color Splash is okay. I know that kind of sounds like an insult, but it really is the best way to explain Color Splash. Color Splash is pretty decent on the story axis and would probably be a net negative, excuse me, on the gameplay axis. Yeah, that's bait. Those are both bait. Screw that. Okay, you're just being mean now, game. Oh, okay. I guess this is our backtracking spot. Yeah, exactly, Roxy. Color Splash had some legitimately good story sections. The biggest problem for Color Splash, I would say, is the fact that a lot of its story was entirely isolated. It was a series of short stories. And that's not me being hyperbolic. It was just a series of short stories. Each zone had its own little self-contained story, and then that was it. Once it was done, you were concluded and you move on to the next short story. That's fine, but it is definitely a different vibe from everything else. Having said that, Color Splash did give us one of the most horrifying things in all of Mario, so that's cool. What do we hear? Some kind of vortex? We seem to have hit a dead end. What do we do? Well, obviously, we go into the vortex. Am I still alive? Well, what were you thinking? You just reaped the whirlwind. We could be dead right now. But I must admit, it did the trick. Are we in the land above the clouds? There must be something here that can lead us to the final element. Let's go find it. Ah! You surprised me. Normally, surface dwellers can't walk on clouds like we do. And my sister and I went to the Picori Festival in Hyrule Town. When we came back, there were monsters everywhere. I bet if I could just fuse a kinstone, I could call a good homeward win. But there are monsters about, so I can't search for kinstones. Even if I could, I still can't find anyone to fuse it with. But you look pretty strong. Do you think you could search for kinstones for me? If you do, I'll tell you about a good spot for fusing. Sure. Oh, another gold monster. And yeah, that's another thing. There's a very common trend when it comes to sales figures. If there's a good game... Meh. If there's a good game, then there's a really good chance that its successor will sell better, whether it's a good game or not. If there's a bad game, then there's a good chance its successor will sell poorly, whether it's a good game or not. The Final Fantasy series is one of the more better examples of this. However, that probably hit Paper Mario as well. This is really bad. Hey, look at that. Never seen a surface dweller walk on clouds before. It must be quite pure of heart. Maybe one such as you would listen to my tale of woe. You see, I went down to the surface with my sister for the Picori Festival, but on our way home we lost the wind entirely. Now we can't get home. Yeah, Devil May Cry 2 had the exact same thing happen. DMC2 sold decently well, and ironically is one of the only reasons we got a DMC3, and subsequently 4 and 5. Cool, okay. I'm supposed to talk to this guy again. Nothing. Got it. And yeah, obviously console matters too. Another really good example of that is Final Fantasy IX. By and large, considered one of the best Final Fantasy games that came out so late on the PS1 that by that time the PS2 had already been out, and, well... And no, I have not played DMC, and God willing, I never will. I don't think it has value for a review. Which is probably the most insulting thing I could ever say about a game. Man, let me dig through the clouds here. That's true. 2 was pretty emo. And we did play that one on camera. Oh god, there's 4 more. Okay. That is the common thing I tend to hear, Yura. That I will never know. Yeah, there's just a bunch of trout-flavored tofu up here. It's weird. I guess that would be trout-flavored yogurt. Whoop! Strawberry-flavored tofu. Which is weird, because, like, strawberry-flavored tofu sounds like that would taste good, but then again, I don't like tofu, so... The hell do I know? I don't remember. Who did do DMC? Gameplay-wise. Well, I guess development-wise. Was it down here, or was it down there? I can't remember all of a sudden. It was down here. I was right. Yay! Yep, okay. It was Ninja Theory, okay. Yeah, they certainly have an interesting history. God, you know, it's been about 10 years since I played this game, too, I just realized. I've gotten a lot of comments like that, Backseat Gaming. Oh man, I gotta play such and such again. I have that effect whenever I watch GDQ. I'm just suddenly in the mood to replay such and such. And it's whatever game they just streamed. I think the Metroid block has the potential to score higher. But as for whether it will or not... Because the Metroid block had Metroid 1 and Other M, and that's not great. Oh my god. Oh my god. And we're dead! Yeah, okay. Damn. Yeah, Hellblade. Is that a Lakitu? I think that is. Alright, whatever. Okay, so we haven't been up yet, and I think it's kind of it. Yeah, obviously I have no horse in this because I've already banned Hellblade Senua and Hellblade Senua 2. But I have not heard kind things about Hellblade Senua 2. Listen, Blue Fusion Volt. Dante just needs to be cool. And Dante wasn't cool, so they needed to reinvent him as someone who was cool. Yeah, that's kind of hard to tell in a static image here. I sort of get it, though. Like, if I zoom in, I can see it on, like, Link there. Link in his lobster shirt. Well, at least DMC has gameplay, unlike Sticker Star, which has just the worst. Just the worst gameplay. Oh my god. Every now and again, there's a game which I can't summarize. I lack the ability to tell you how terrible it is, unless we go fully in detail on it. Okay. What do you mean, Easel? Like they're just sitting there going, "Hey, in order to open the next puzzle, you should hit this button. This button will help. Turn around, Link. Turn around, Link. Turn around, Link." Oh my god. Dude. No, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And we're dead. I hate you, Link. I hope you die. Which I guess, you know, mission accomplished, so yay! Ding dong, the Link is dead. The Link is dead. Wait, seriously? The voices are actually backseaters? Oh my god. Okay, so... Oh, that was easy. Yeah, why would we actually want puzzles in our puzzle game? That's just ridiculous. So I'm missing 2, and I'm missing 3. Listen, if there's one thing I know about video game design, it's that there should be no game in it. Nobody wants to play a video game. We're all here just to have interactive movies. I can't even finish my bit. Because that's actually really common. No, seriously, there is a lot of game developers who just clearly just want to make movies. We've covered this. We have an entire terminology for that. Kojima-itis. I like it. That's one. Come on, boy. Okay, nothing. Got it. Yeah, I think I've told this story before, Spartan. My eldest niece was playing FF5, the Pixel Remaster version. She was having a couple of issues with it because she's brand new to RPGs and doesn't really know what she's doing. No judgment, that's how that works. We were all that way once. But I bring this up because thanks to the fact that there was an autosave, she was able to just get right back into where she was at the start. Imagine if she'd been playing the original. Alright, time to replay the entire opening cutscene again, because you haven't reached a save point yet. Well, that sucks easily. Speaking as someone who has turbo vetoed those games and will never touch them ever, 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 still sad that that didn't turn out as well as it should. How do I... okay. And that should be our last one. Although we don't have all the turn-in spots yet. It ties back into something I've said a few 100,000 times before. You need to learn how much and how little to listen to your audience. Or, phrased a little bit better, don't listen too much, and don't just listen too little. Both are bad. Where's this one? One thing I do value in puzzle design in general is when the puzzle generally keeps you moving forwards. I know that kind of is just another way of saying backtracking can suck, but it's true. I like puzzle design where even if you're not literally physically going down a corridor, you always feel like you are progressing. Which I mentioned because that's exactly what this section has been doing pretty well, actually. Exactly, Dakota. Did I miss anything? Nope. We're moving forward. Boop. And no resolving the same room over and over and over again. A what, Bragwin? Hang on, I think your keyboard's broken, Bragwin. And now we got a warp point, so we never have to do that entire section again. How do you build something like this on top of a cloud? Maybe someone lives inside. Well, let's go ask if there's anybody in here. Ah! We've actually been here before. Oh yeah, bad checkpointing, bad save point design. Irritating. But yeah, remember this? We actually saved this guy from the ghost. Oh, thank you for your help earlier. I got something else good for you, so please take it. You got the light arrow. Oh yeah, right. So if you didn't trade kinstones with the stranger in town, take the teleport here, use the gust to pull the ghost off of him, and then talk to him afterwards, the old man dies. And you never get the light arrow. By the way, yes, that is permanently skippable content. Because you, my Gramps is all better now. There's actually a decent amount of permanently skippable content in this game. We have, in fact, skipped most of it. That was the one I really wanted to do. Mostly just to make that point, but also because light arrows. We of the Wind Tribe are very skilled at finding kinstone pieces. So skilled, in fact, we have more than we can manage. We can't even store them all. I wish someone would take them from us. You got it. Now, in this case, obviously, the light arrows are an optional item. Duh. Just like the boomerang is. But I'm not 100% sure how optional. Because, obviously, you know, they're optional by the literal sense of the word. You do not require them to beat the game. But, like, how detrimental is it to not get the light arrows? That's what I'm not sure about. Because as we talked about before, there's optional and then there's optional. Oh, it's you. I thought I'd never make it back here, but thanks to your kinstone, I did. If you're looking for something, go talk to the elder woman on the 4th floor. The winds carry all sorts of valuable information to her. Oh, if it isn't all lore. My quest to match kinstones has taken me all the way up here. Not sure you've noticed yet, but we're on top of the clouds. The Wind Tribe lives here. They protect the path to the Palace of Winds, where the wind element lies. Cool. Yeah, no kidding, Easel. Up on the roof, there's a huge whirlwind that can take you up to the palace. Are you gonna let me into that whirlwind, or am I gonna break all your pots? Some nice pots you got here, man. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to them. Welcome, welcome. Long, long ago, and then an age before that, 10,000 years ago, our tribe abandoned the place you call the Wind Ruins. With our magic, we moved our palace up into the skies. We are the Wind Tribe. We've been watching, and we know all that happens on your surface world. We know a small boy collects elements to lift the curse from a princess. We know of Vaati and his evil acts. The winds tell us these things. The wind element you seek lies deep in the Palace of Winds above me. When the blade hasn't been infused with the 4 elements, the way to the light force shall open. So it is told in the legends of the Wind Tribe. Vaati himself may already know this. Surface dwellers are not permitted to enter our palace, but you are special. You're the player character. Also, let's fuse. Let me up. When I get bigger, I want to explore the palace and find the device that lets you fly in the sky. A jetpack? Please give me a jetpack in a Zelda game. Just do it, game. Just do it. So, what an irritation. We find ourselves at the very top of the clouds, and now we have to go even higher to find a floating palace? I can't believe what a long way we've come. And look how high we are. Don't look down, Lore, and watch your step. It's a long way down. Welcome to Dungeon 5. of 6. I don't like the music. I've also noticed one other thing. This is extremely off topic, but I just wanted to share. I talk about practicing memory. One little trick that works for me, and I don't know if this will work for anybody else, is if I write something down, I have a higher tendency to remember it. I don't mean like, you know, get milk and eggs. I mean, if I write down my thoughts, it's the other side benefit of typing up substantially more in-depth notes on the review document, is it helps me to recall a lot of those things much better. I mean, it also helps that I can go and then check my own notes later on, so double win. There's another little tip. If there's something you really want to remember that it's a little thing, say it 6 times out loud. I'm dead serious. That works for me so well, it's crazy. I don't fully understand the psychology behind it, or even if that's just a thing for me and not for other people. But something about having to repeat it wrote like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pretty much solidifies it there in my memory. I'll do that semi-frequently if something occurs to me while I'm driving, or if I'm out at the grocery store, or, you know, I'm otherwise indisposed and don't have access to Notepad. I'll just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I usually remember it. Ian Sky? Don't think I've heard of that one. Any good? So we're probably not going to finish this dungeon before the lunch break, but we'll take a bite out of it. Okay, I already like the backdrop. You can see Wind Waker down there. We have finally found a use for the boomerang. Yep, time to play Wind Waker. Let's go! We're going to skip Phantom. We're going right to Wind Waker. I actually sincerely considered putting Wind Waker in the 2D block instead of the 3D block, because in many ways it is a 2D game in style and approach. But it's just too much of a 3D game to otherwise do so. Plus, it serves as a better direct comparison to Twilight, I think. Okay, so light arrows suck, obviously. I mean, what else is there to review, Yura? Real question. Like, as we talked about recently, we even did a short about it, reviewing the multiplayer of a game just isn't feasible. Barely reasonable. There's a quad, which we do not have. Nice. Well, it sounds cool. I mean, the idea that people would try to emulate this sprite style would not surprise me. It's a really good style. Okay, so I can get 3. So let's do that. I mean, hell, during this SNES block, we'll be reviewing, whoa! Street Fighter 2. That'll be fun. Back when fighting games didn't actually have campaigns, they had tournament mode. Liking this dungeon so far. And yeah, Sonic Advance, more GBA games. Very good looking games. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The GBA had some really good sprite work for the time. Hell, let me walk that back. In general, never mind, you know, for right now. Or for the time. God damn it, I'm screwing up my own dialogue. Listen, I'm trying to pay attention, okay? Give me a break. I mean, hell, I have argued, there's fluffy clouds, it's awfully comfortable. Yeah, but it's up there. I've argued several times, personally, that I think one of the best looking Fire Emblem games is the one on the Game Boy Advance, or rather the 2, but still. And yeah, a lot of DS games are GBA games in terms of style and visuals. They just don't have the limitations of the terrible sound chip and the palette problems. Basically, any DS game that isn't married to the terrible DS 3D. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully never, Smart. Never! But whenever the Mario and Luigi block gets funded is the real answer to that. Okay. Wizrobes. I get that we're in a floating palace, but god dang, guys. Rock's Cape. Our final item. Okay. Well, I guess that's one way to add verticality to a dungeon. Did I miss something down there? Also, I swear the music just changed. Am I crazy? Be honest. Thank you, Razor Carito, very, very much. Always appreciate. Remember, you can pick 3 things to donate towards Razor Carito, not just one. In the interest of total honesty, if you don't pick 2 more things, I will pick 2 more things. But I will put one of those towards Icarus. Also, I'm astonished they're still patching Icarus, to be honest with you. Cool, though. I like it when devs keep supporting games like that. At this point, any future games I put Dealer's Choice towards will probably not be MMOs, because the MMOs are kind of funded. You know, like there's Guild Wars 2, and there's ESO, and that's kind of it. You know what that reminds me of, Razor Corrito? Deep Rock Galactic. Now that's a game that I recommend to pretty much everybody. Whoops. Playing Ocarina of Time all of a sudden here. Oh, okay. I think I'll do that. Oh man, but auto turrets, Razor Corrito. Think about it. Think about it. Yeah, apparently this tiny little thing that's probably the size of my toe is preventing me from going over here. Gotta admit, that's one way to have a chill child. Like, walk up to someone, we should have a child, and then there's a temporal paradox, and the child just shows up. It's like, oh, hi. Who needs entropy? We've got time travel. Yeah, this game's scoring pretty well so far. Slow. Hopefully it won't run out. Liking this dungeon a lot so far. Sorry I'm not talking a lot about it, but it's very, very smooth. This is very Zelda-y absolutely in a good sort of a way. Okay, so we do need to time this a little bit better. That's okay. I figured that was a thing. Can we skip back? We can. Perfect. Like, little things like what I just did. Oh, shoot, I messed up the timing. Rather than having to go back through the platform, I could just hop off and I'm immediately here. That's good level design right now. I know that's such a minor, insignificant thing. That kind of stuff right there, that is exactly what makes the great games and what makes actually good level design, is when you think about those little details. Because when you're laying out these kind of puzzles and traps, you are thinking about a lot of different things. For example, in this case, they need to think about the timing involved. They want to make sure that you have enough time to do this, but that it's also challenging. So there needs to be a range of how long it takes you to get to point A, from point A to point B. Make sense? But then, they also want to make sure that that positioning is such that you can have that quick shortcut back in case you screw up like I already did. Yeah, there's a lot of polish in this game, and little things like that are part of that. That sort of stuff doesn't just happen. You have to map and plan that out well in advance. And yeah, as we've talked about several times, overworld design is a really big deal when it comes to these kind of games as well. And I think this might actually be in the running for the best overworld we've had so far. The other competitor is Link's Awakening. But there's so much to do in the overworld, and it's smooth, and it's backtracky in a good way. Just, oof. Notice how there's been a lot of introduction escalation puzzle design here, too, while we're on the subject. Okay. Now you have to do it without a safety net, right? Like that kind of a thing. And that's very, very common in Zelda design. Now you have to do it without a safety net on a timer. This isn't the hardest stuff in the known universe, but it's not trying to be. It's trying to be fun. And call me a weirdo, but I like fun. Okay. Do I like swimming? So, I'm not sure if I can physically swim anymore. I haven't gone swimming since the accident. Having said that, I did used to love swimming. And notice how they leave that little space in the middle, so I can do that exact maneuver I just did. They could have made that a lot more irritating and frustrating, but no, they decided to leave that little quality of life feature just for us. And that looks like a backtracking spot, so we're not going to do that yet. Ugh, it's never going to go down here. And face the endless dungeon of puzzle block movingness. Look, I can't be dramatic, okay? I don't know what you want from me. God, how strong are we? Jeez Louise. Alright, so good news. I screwed up. So we can start over. Oh, that doesn't reset it. Okay. Can I fix this? I don't think I can. I can push that up, but that's not going to help anything. But I can't move that out of the way. I wish I could just break these things, but oh well. But yeah, one thing, this is going to sound absolutely weird, but I kind of like the idea of a generational thing when it comes to a turn-based tactical game, you know? But I do think we could do more with that, and frankly, I also think that making it literal children, as in you go have sex with someone, and then they pump out a baby 9 months later, is probably not the right way to go about that. There's entirely too many connotations about eugenicsing your army, right? Maybe we should keep that in the realm of either fantasy or sci-fi, you know? So in total contrast to what I just talked about, having to scroll the screen this far to reset the pots, not great. Yeah, robots is not a bad idea. Or cyborgs or something like that. Basically build up to it, right? Generational kind of a thing. Except, you know, not gross. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, so this has to go left. But from this part, yeah, exactly, literally inheriting new parts. I actually had an idea for a Mega Man builder game. Basically, you build your own Robot Master. You could do something iterative, something generational in something like that, too. Rogue Legacy kind of plays with this idea, too, if you want to go that direction with it. Okay, so we want to move that up or down, which means we want to move that up or down. So let's scooch that up, and let's scooch that up. I think I want to move this down. And then this over, and then this up. That'll only enables me to move this down, and then this up, and then this down. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I have successfully had the intellect of a 5-year-old. I no longer have to raise my hand to have to go to the bathroom. Everyone in chat, huh? How can I not go over this? This isn't even a waist-high fence. This is, like, below my feet. Oh, whatever. I mean, if I did, you'd probably have to report me, Yura. Or give me tons and tons of money if I'm a woman. But this is another example of looping level design, right? So, we come in through the lower left, we make our way up here, we go get small, we solve the bottle puzzle, we go up north, we solve a very brief shooting puzzle, we're back here, and now we can progress. Each of these loops is effectively just a little bit, like, think of it like a tree. And in a good game like this, the trunk of the tree is the overworld design, and then each of those major branches is major dungeons, and amongst those branches are the little twigs, and those are your loops. I apologize, I'm talking a lot about game design today, but, like, man. I'm playing a game with good game design. What do you want from me? I also like how so many of the enemies can be knocked off the edge just like you can in this stage. Do damage? Nah, I'm good. Shove. Oh, I'm with you, Razor Kurito. Like, another thing you could do if you don't want to go sci-fi or fantasy with it, you can make it so that it's training. Each successive generation, generation in quotes here, is another, okay, so you have Bob, and you have Jill, and you're like, you know what, Bob just learned this one new technique, and I really want Bob to teach this to Jill, so you have built Bob literally become a mentor for Jill. Train, 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 and now you've got your generational gameplay concept, even though there's no real age gap or necessary gap of time involved, right? Whoop! There we go. Exactly. Passed across rather than passed down. You can also do vampirism. That's more in the fantasy arc, but yeah, absolutely. I think you can do straight up golems if you want to do that route, too. Although that's basically just robots at that point. That's true. Golems could be made of people. There's nothing preventing that. Maybe there probably should be. I accept. Whoa there. There we go. So I've been keeping my mouth shut for a minute because I don't actually want to curse the run, jinx the run here, but this has been the best dungeon so far, and that's saying something, because the dungeons in this game have been legit. Okay, this is it. This is it. This is where the dungeon becomes bad. Jesus. Okay. Let's see how much milk heals for. 5, but we get multiple shots of it, so 10, in other words. Okay. Yep, run has been jinxed. So in that case, we're going to stop trying to be clever. We're just going to berserker these jackasses. It is funny how often that works. Yeah, it's basically mash speed. How fast can you mash? Pretty fast, as it happens. I play Mega Man games. I was gonna say, that was in Tactics as well, although worse, as you point out. What's a Mega Man? I don't know, why don't we ask Capcom? They seem to have forgotten. Really? Okay. Oh god, yeah, I remember having nightmares about having to farm crystals in Tactics. Oh no! Ooh, okay. I shouldn't joke around. Joke around mode, disengaged. Oh, Jesus. Yes, they are here. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and pop this. If these aren't called Blizz robes, they are now. A lot of enemies all of a sudden in this section. Off you go. I wonder how deliberate that is, Dakota. Anyways, we're done here. We're done here. Yeah, that's probably short material. Discussions and memes. That's short material right there. Same as clips back in when we were doing highlight reels. I'm sure I mentioned this before, but I'm no good with heights. Wait, hold on. I think I see something on there. I guess that means we have to take the plunge after all. Yep. It's time to do the boss.